Is it just me, or there's slowly an agenda against marriage as an institution? It's more like we are getting to the point where marriage is being sidelined, marriage is being second guessed, marriage is being pushed to the corner because, oh, it's not that important, it's not so necessary. And this was born out of people's negative experiences. And I promise you, I'm not invalidating those experiences because trust me, those experiences are real. They are sad, but they are real. But does that give us room to say marriage in itself is not necessary or marriage is bad? No, I don't believe so. And what I would love to say to us as believers is anything that was established by our Father in heaven, we should try our best to uphold it. Now, marriage as an institution was established by our Father. Our Father is more like your father has a company and something is going on with it. You have to step in. You have to be able to uphold that company. That is what marriage is. Marriage is so sacred and it was established by God. So we as Christians, we should try our best to uphold marriage and push out the positive parts of marriage. Now, let's get into the video. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mercy and this is God and everything in between. Yes, welcome back. Thank you for stopping by. If this is your first time, please do well to subscribe, turn on your post notification. Please like this video and also watch my previous videos too. It's gonna bless you. It's gonna bless you. And if you're an oldie, thank you. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for not leaving us alone. God bless you. So before we get into the video for today, the song for this video is Ascend by Victoria Renzi. I mean, this is such an amazing song, such a powerful song. I'm just going to say a part of the lyrics that really speaks to us in this generation, which is why it is such a timely song for this video. So it says, creation groans in anticipation for sons to get up and take position. There's no more room for procrastination. We must arise. How powerful is that? I mean, powerful, powerful lyrics. And that is just the reality of things. Like I said in my intro, marriage is just even one of those things that we need to arise. We need to arise and take position because if we don't take position, they will. They will. And remember, this is an institution that was established by our Father. So who are we not to take position? Remember Genesis chapter 1 verse 28. The first commandment that God gave man is that be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. Then he went ahead to say, oh, dominate the fishes of the sea and the birds of the air and the beasts of the land and all of that. And if you think about it, God gave the first commandment to family, and then the following commandment was more or less like to career and to life in general. So when people make it seem like I say, I beg, marriage is secondary, my career this, my career that. I'm not displacing the place of career. Career is very important. You should be financially independent, you should be financially literate. So that doesn't take away from it. But this is a commandment that came directly from God to man. If we are not getting married, for example, it means that we're not going to replenish the earth. And if we don't replenish the earth, we are just simply not obeying the commandment of God. Now, this is not to say that I'm forcing anybody to get married or anything like that. No. I just want you to be sure that your reason for not getting married, yes, is a personal preference, but make sure your reason is not shaped by the negative view of marriage in today's society. Just ensure that it is not. Anyways, so before we derail too much, now the topic for today is, who is the best teacher? Experience or example? Now, this topic, I've always had it in my mind since even before I started this channel. I discussed it with somebody like maybe like around last year. Yeah, around last year. And I was of the opinion that you don't have to experience everything to be able to learn. You don't have to experience everything to be able to learn. And now I'm talking from a relationship point of view, not like other aspects of life. I'm talking relationship point of view. Because the person was like, if you don't experience love, you don't really know what love is, yada yada yada. You don't know how to handle the opposite gender and all of that. And I'm like, no. Or you don't know how to handle marriage. I'm like, no, that is not true. That is not okay. Let me say that is not entirely true. It's not entirely true. Now let's even dive into what experience really is and what example is. Now, experience is more like you living through something, like being active in a process and then seeing it through to the end. One example is seeing someone live through a process. That's the difference between the both of them. Now, does experience teach? Yes, it does. But how does it teach? It teaches the hard way. And experience comes with a high cost. That's another thing. Experience comes with a high cost. Most times it comes with heartbreaks. Most times it comes with even trauma. I promise you, it comes with trauma. And most times it just comes with a lot of time wasting. And I always say it like when I see people in relationships, right? People in relationships, and you can just tell that this relationship is probably not going anywhere. And you are wondering, why is this person still there? Why are you wasting your time? You said, no, 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 it's just part of the experience. You have to experience these things to know. What are you knowing? What do you want to know? What's your know? What is the purpose of your knowing? It's not for marriage. At the end of the day, it still boils down to marriage. Some people might say, oh no, they just want to know what it means to be in a relationship or what it feels like to be in love. But as Christians, is that what we are called for? God established this whole relationship thing or courtship or even love and all of that for the sole purpose of marriage. That was what it was established for. Remember, marriage is an institution that was established by God because he felt like it is not good for man to be alone. Now let's dive into scriptures. So Proverbs 22 verse 3 says, sensible people will see trouble coming and avoid it, but an unthinking person will walk right into it and regret it later. Now that Bible verse is so it's so true. The fact that the Bible use sensible people, I think other versions use maybe foolish people and then wise people and all of that. So what are we even trying to say in essence? You don't have to experience things to be able to learn. You don't have to, because that's a notion that people have. So in relationships, when people have this idea of you have to experience it, like say for example, oh, you are dating a guy, you have seen the red flags, but you want to see it through, you want to see if you can change, you want to see if you can do this thing. Meanwhile, people have already told you, this red flag will run. No, not to say that there are no exceptions, but I will always say it, exceptions don't validate certain processes. Exceptions don't validate certain processes. Because they're exceptions to things doesn't make that thing a normal. It doesn't make it a norm. So please, experience teaches the hard way, but example teaches the wise way. And that's just the take home. Because I don't want to say, oh, this one is best or this one is not best and all of that. It's just going to be absolutism. So I don't want to be absolute in my verdict. But I just want us to understand that wisdom is profitable to direct. Bible says it. Wisdom is profitable to direct. You need to understand that you don't have to experience everything to be able to learn. That is why you have example. Why do you even think we have the Bible? Why do you think that we have the Bible? If God really felt like experience is the best way for you to learn things, he would just leave us to just be doing whatever we want to do. But he gave us the Bible as a template, as a guide. So it's more like example serves as a guide. Experience serves as a will I say a painful professor. Yes, it serves as a painful professor because experience makes you go through pain to learn. For example, guides you, it navigates you. So I want you to think about it today. If you've always had this mindset of, oh, I want to experience this and I want to see it for myself, I want to see it for myself, you need to take a step back because at the end of the day, that's what leads to disobedience. So it takes humility to actually learn from examples because it is not easy to see somebody go through something and Other people are telling you that, ah, no, don't go there, oh, don't go there, oh. And you're like, why? Why can I not go there? Why can I not? And it's a normal, I feel like it's just a normal thing that is in all of us. You be like, why? Why can't I? You don't want me to enjoy a beer, you don't want me to see it for myself and all of that. And then we end up doing it and we have regrets and we feel like, oh my God, if I had known, I would not have done it and all of that, which is fine. It's fine. But it really takes humility. So it's something that we need to ask God for, that God to give us the grace to be able to learn from examples, because it's not easy. It doesn't come natural to us. We always want to experience things. Now, because I know that this example being a wiser option or example being a wiser choice could be taken out of context, I'm going to break it down into two. So the first aspect is learning from example, or allowing examples to shape your mindset or to shape your view of life. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I know people that have seen negative examples, and obviously in this context is more of negative examples, but remember we're talking about relationships. I know people that have seen or witnessed negative examples or negative experiences of other people, and it has sort of shaped the way they see things or the way they process that aspect of life. Take, for example, marriage. Marriage is like the typical example, because there's been so many negative examples flying around left, right, and center. It's like this generation, and I'm part of this generation, so I know what I'm saying. It's like we've started allowing those examples to shape our view of marriage. That's that aspect of life. We've allowed those negative examples to shape our view of marriage. Now, let me give you a very distinct difference between learning from example and allowing examples to shape you. If you are learning from example, it means that you are picking the lesson without picking the bitterness with it. Picking the lesson without picking the bitterness with it. Whereas if you are allowing negative examples to shape you or to shape the way you see a particular aspect of life, it just means that you are allowing yourself to be scarred by those examples. So in your head, you might feel like you are learning, but you are also being wounded. So the first one is you are just picking the lessons without the bitterness. The second one is you are picking the lesson but with the bitterness. Because it gets to a point where you just harden your heart. You're just not interested. So in a way, you've kind of learned because you don't even want to even hear it. But you have picked the bitterness with it. And is that what God really wants for us? No. That's not what God wants for us. That is not what God wants for us. So if you really want to know if you are in a stage where you have allowed negative examples to scare you, I'm just going to give you some pointers for you to know if you've allowed negative examples to scare you. Now, the first pointer is if you start believing that men has come, the popular phrase, men has gone, oh, all men are the same, oh, all women are the same. You see some guys, maybe they talk to like a few ladies, and maybe the ladies are billing them, for example. And they'll be like, oh, all women are the same. I'm like, are you sure you're not allowing those negative examples, or in this case it's probably their experience or maybe the experience of their friends, so that in itself is an example. Are you sure you're not allowing it to shape or form your expectation? Think about it. So that's the first pointer. When you start believing that all men are the same or all women are the same, it goes to show that you are already allowing negative examples to shape your mindset or to shape the way you view life. Then the second pointer is when you become overly suspicious and fearful. Let's say you start talking to somebody, for example, and you're already just becoming suspicious that, are you sure this person is wrong? Are you sure this person is wrong? You're already being very like edgy at the beginning stage. Why? Because maybe you had someone that had like maybe a similar experience with another person. That is an example, but you're already allowing that example to form your expectation. So it's more like you have allowed that trauma to form your expectation of the future. So that's why when you meet a new person, you're already like, very suspicious, very fearful, like, maybe this person doesn't, maybe this person is, maybe this person is, maybe this person is. And is that a valid feeling? To an extent, yes, but is that how we should be? No. So I know that there are people that are in that state, but they don't even know that they're already being wounded by negative experiences that they've witnessed or that they've seen. So that's the second pointer to know if you are being scarred by negative examples. And then the third one is when you begin to self-sabotage. Oh my God. I know this one is very, very rampant. Trust me, like it's so rampant, especially people that have had personal contact or have been a product of negative examples. And I'm talking about people from maybe dysfunctional homes, maybe your parents' marriages are having issues and things like that. Most of them are the ones in this category where they self-sabotage because they're already anticipating disappointment. It's a sad reality for some people, and I just pray that God helps them, because it's only God that can help you to heal from such a thing. But if you are in this category, just know that those negative examples are already leaving a scar on you, and you need to get to a point where you start to filter. It's only God that can help you to filter, because if you've been a product of a negative example, you might think you are learning from it, but you will not know that you've also been wounded by it. So you begin to self-sabotage. Let's say you meet somebody and everything seems too good to be true. In your head, you're like, it's not possible. Everything cannot be good. Do you know that some people that even have in mind that marriage can never be smooth? Things cannot, you will fight. If you don't fight, it's not normal. If you don't throw one or two punches, it's not normal. There's some people that have that mindset because that's how they were raised. So they've been they've been scarred with negative examples that it has become normal to them. They begin to self-sabotage. Once things are going too smoothly, they want to form drama. They want some fights. And you can't blame them. It's just because they've been wounded, they've been scarred. So that's another point. At the moment you begin to self-sabotage because you're already anticipating disappointment, you meet somebody, you already feel like, oh, this one will still leave, or this one will still cheat on me, or this one will still do this thing. When you have that mindset, just know that you've already been scarred by certain negative examples. The last one is when you are building your identity around like avoiding pain rather than walking in purpose. Now, this one is also another very popular category where there are people that, because of how much of negative examples that they've seen, they've just built their identity around, I don't care about love. Love is scam. Marriage is scam. Marriage is not real. It is fake. Anybody that is dating, they're deceiving themselves. There's some people that have hardened their hearts to that point. So they think they've learned, or they think that because of they've seen a negative example and they don't want a repeat for themselves, instead of them learning from it, they've been so scarred by it that they don't even want to hear anything about it. Like, they are not interested. They've built a wall just to avoid that situation. Like, they don't want to find themselves in that situation. And that just goes through that they've been seriously wounded and scarred by negative examples. So I hope you understand the difference now. And because I know that a lot of people are on the other side, which is being scarred by experiences or allowing negative experiences to shape them, I'm just going to give us 4 practical tips on how to move from being scarred by negative examples to learning from negative examples, because at the end of the day, God wants us to be in that position where we are just learning from negative examples and doing better as a person rather than being wounded, even though maybe we might learn, but most of the times we are bleeding on the people that we are yet to even meet. That's future people, because that's what these wounds do. It sort of makes you bleed on the next person. The person did not expect it, but it just makes you bleed, and you would not also know. You will not know that you are bleeding on the person, but it's just as a result of accumulated negative experiences or negative examples that you've witnessed. And so the first practical tip is process the example, don't personalize it. Process the example, don't personalize it. And this is so important because the moment we begin to personalize negative examples, it forms part of our mindset, it forms part of our view of certain situations or certain topics. Take, for example, social media, the way celebrity, maybe somebody was married for 30 years and they get a divorce. And you're like, me that I've not even started anything, that, hey, I can't do it, oh, I cannot do it, to me, I don't want to be like this, oh, or, there's no good marriage out there, there's no good man out there. You're already personalizing the example. You're not even processing it. Okay, so what does it mean to process the example? It means that you see a negative example and you sit back and you look at it and you're like, what is the lesson that I can get from here? What went wrong? What can I work on? What are the areas that I feel like, okay, if I do this, this would not happen? That is what to me it means to process an example, but don't personalize it. Because that was somebody else's reality doesn't mean it's going to be your reality. Because there's high level of divorce rate doesn't mean your marriage is not going to work. Please erase that mindset from your head. If your marriage is going to work, it is going to work. If you put in the necessary things that you need to put in and you put God first, I promise you, your marriage is going to, and it's going to be sweet. You will enjoy your marriage. So that's the first practical tip. Please process the example. Do not personalize it. Process the example. I'm saying it again because I know how important this is. Process the example, but do not personalize it. Now, the second practical step is let God filter what you're taking. And this is going to take me back to social media because we know that in this generation, social media is literally the order of the day. Like everything is on social media. We learn everything, we pick everything from social media. And so it's very important that we allow God to filter what we take in because remember, we become what we consume. Don't allow the bulk of the content that you consume from social media be negative examples of marriage because it is going to shape the way you see marriage, whether you like it or not, consciously or not. It's going to shape the way you see marriages. So make sure you allow God to filter the things that you take in so that it helps to guard your heart. Because remember, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 says, above all things, guard your heart, but there comes the issues of life. So please allow God to filter what you take in. And then the third one, this is more directed to people that have had direct contact with negative examples or have been a product of negative examples. Invite healing alongside learning. This is very important because people that are products of dysfunctional homes or negative examples, most times they feel like they've learned because on a natural basis, they don't want to be like what they've seen. They don't want to be like what they've been through or what they've witnessed. But most of the times, most of them don't heal. Most of them are still scarred and they carry it on to their future, I don't know, future encounters with people. So invite healing alongside learning. Make sure that you are actually healing from those hurts that you witnessed while you are learning from it so that you don't carry your wound and you don't carry those scars and then bleed on the people that you are yet to come in contact with. And then for the last practical step is just staying in the right community. Make sure that you surround yourself with the right content. If you are naturally born in a surrounding that is filled with negative examples, be conscious. Take a conscious effort to step out of it and feed yourself with positive examples because that's the only way you can really grow and really learn and heal from the negative examples that you've been exposed to. So, for my final notes, you can be wise without being wounded. You can be cautious without being closed off. And you can learn from examples without letting fear write your future. Make sure you let wisdom guide you. So we've come to the end of today's video. If you liked it, please drop a thumbs up, hit the like button, and please share your comments, share your thoughts. I really want to hear what you guys think because I believe that this is a topic that is timely for this generation. A lot of us have unconsciously carried on the bitterness of negative examples that we've been exposed to, and it's just the truth. So please drop your comments down below, the things that you've learned, if this video has opened your eyes to a different point of view, if this video has opened your eyes to see things from another perspective, and also share this video. Share this. Everybody needs to watch this video because I believe that it is so important for our generation for us to be able to move forward. Most of us are just carrying injuries most of the time that we didn't even cause on ourselves. We just inherited those injuries, we inherited those scars because of negative examples that we must have witnessed. So please share this video to anybody. Share, in fact, share this video on all social media platforms. Until the next video, stay blessed and God bless you. Bye.